it's Ms. Hurst from Hamilton County Schools. I am going to go ahead and share my screen as we get started working on Hey, Come On Out again today. So if you guys want to get started with a warm-up by listing all of the characters in the story we read yesterday. So we're going to be looking at characters today. So take some time to list all of the characters that you can think of. Pause me while you do that. Press play when you're ready to continue. So today we're going to be looking at analyzing how an author develops characters that further the plot of the story. So I know you guys have spent a lot of time in the past thinking about character traits and how you know the characters are that way. But today we're going to also be looking at how did those characters with their specific traits contribute to the plot of the story. So you were supposed to come up with the characters. I'm going to list who I think of. The villagers, the old man who gives the warning, the scientist, the business people, and then the man at the end of the story are the main characters that I can think of. So what we're going to look at today is what do we read about them, what trait does that give us, and how do we know, and how does that character contribute to the So I'm going to model with villagers, and then I'm going to let you guys take some time to do the old man and the scientist, and then we'll share out, and then we'll do business people and the man at the end. So we learn a lot about the villagers in this text, like a lot. But one line that I think is really important is in paragraph 37, where it says, everyone disliked thinking about the eventual consequences. The reason I'm going to include that line specifically is because it says everyone. So I know it's most, if not all, of the villagers who are thinking this. I'm going to put that it was in paragraph 37 just because, like, when I did this work before, I didn't. And so then when I was going back, I was like, I don't understand where I was. Okay, so what trait does that give us? I think they're faulty. I think that this is literally their fault, right? Maybe even selfish. So the villagers know there will be consequences and still ignore them, right? It's not even just that they don't think about the consequences. They know that there are probably going to be consequences. They just don't want to think about them. So they just ignore them. So how does this contribute to the plot of the story? The villagers not wanting, oh goodness, to deal with the consequences directly leads to the issues in the story. If they had thought about them and not ignored them, entire story would have been different. I'm gonna make this smaller because it's pretty long. Oh, maybe that made it 15. Much better. All right, I want you to take some time. When I'm talking about the old man, I'm talking about the old man in the pretty early on, paragraph 13, warned an old man, that guy. And when I'm talking about the scientist, I mean, there's a clear scientist. So pause me while you do that work. Press play when you're ready to continue. All right. So for the old man, I'm going to do his direct quote. So he said, "You might bring down a curse on us, lay off." So I think this man is wise. The man knew that they shouldn't ignore that the whole presented. So how does that contribute to the story? So the villagers ignore the man's warning. This acts as foreshadowing for the end of the story. Interesting. All right, now the scientist. The scientist is one of my least favorite characters. Because I think that the scientist covers up a lot, right? The scientist is selfish because of his inability to really figure out what's going on. So let's see, where is the scientist again? I didn't write down the paragraph numbers, and it's really important that you do that because that makes it a lot easier. So I need to go back and add the curse. You might bring a curse down on us. That was paragraph 13, so that we know. The scientist is over here. Safer to get rid of something one doesn't understand. And that's in paragraph 20. That's all of paragraph 20. Safer to get rid of something one didn't understand. That's paragraph 20. So what does this tell us about the scientist? I think he's insecure. The scientist doesn't want to admit that he is stumped by the hole, so he tries to cover it up. Right? He's just like, oh, let's just pretend it doesn't exist. I think that this is very, very unfair. So the scientist's inability to admit he is confused as to the villagers not knowing how to approach the hole, and maybe even a false sense of safety with the hole. Right? They trusted a scientist. All right, so I want you guys to remember that good readers consider why an author included certain characters with specific traits in their story, and how that really helps get to the heart of the plot. For your exit ticket today, I want you to fill out the rest of the chart. So I want you to think about the business people and then the man at the end who is kind of like, he hears the hey, come on out. So go ahead and think about what did you learn about them from evidence, what traits they have, and explain it, and how does that contribute to the plot. Once you're done with that, you're good to go. Have a wonderful rest of your day.